guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are going to talk about the CM dev note. There was a developer's live stream 2 days ago. It was in Korean, so we couldn't really understand, but thanks to the Tower of God New World official forum, they were able to translate the developer's live stream. So there are a lot of things we need to talk about, but before I get started on the video, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and also turn on post notification bells so that you guys can always stay tuned as to I post new videos. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are new here on the channel, I have a Discord server. So if you guys are interested, you can join the server by going to my channel description. You see the server link there. And I'll also post a server link in the comment section down below. And also, I posted a brand new solo leveling video. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to post it in the comment section down below so that you guys can click the link and watch the video. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into the video. So as you guys can see right here, we have the CM note. Now, this CM note was just really good overall because they're pretty much answering all the questions and basically all the issues that are in the game. For example, connection, lack of communication, etc. So the first question we have is the interval between updates is too long. So this person, this is not a it wasn't just one person who addressed this. It's pretty much the community overall. So people are basically questioning, whether why is the interval between updates in this game so long. And me personally, I disagree with this because 2 weeks, we literally have an update every 2 weeks. That is not long at all. That is extremely short. So let's go ahead and see what they said. They said, after an update, we received comments saying that there was nothing to do in the game, that there wasn't enough content to keep our regulars entertained for 2 weeks. It seemed like we were not able to provide enough content for our regulars to enjoy throughout this period. We will maintain the 2-week update cycle, but we will arrange the campaigns and mission events in a way that will provide enough entertainment for our regulars. So they said that the community overall is saying that there's not much to do in the game. And me personally, I'm just going to have to disagree with that because after you complete the event, whenever there's an event going on and they have event missions or, login event or whatever, etc. After you complete the event of that specific update, you can literally go back to your, daily grinding where you're grinding tower, trial area, PvP, fighting bosses. There's so many other things to do in the game. I feel like this question was mostly these people, they were mostly talking about events, and that's pretty much it. Because if they're talking about the game overall, I'm gonna have to personally disagree with that because there's so much to do in this game. There's literally around, I think there's over 30 floors. There's over 40 floors in adventure mode. That is a ton of floors, and the difficulty for adventure mode is really hard. So there's literally a bunch of things you can do in the game, and I feel like this is mostly about events specifically. Because if we're talking about events, I can agree to some extent, because after you complete the event story, all you have left is event missions, event shop, and you have the event boss battle, and that's pretty much it. So if they're talking about events, I agree with that. But if they're talking about the game overall, I'm gonna have to disagree because there's plenty of things you can do in the game. Now, the next thing we're gonna talk about is lack of communication. So after listening to our regulars' input, we did our best to share information in advance. However, despite our efforts, our suggestion, feedback, and response speed was still lacking. We will keep carefully reviewing the suggestions submitted by regulars through our suggestions board, and we'll try to meet up our regulars' expectations by adding as many suggestions as possible. This is good. They're actually admitting that their suggestion feedback response is a little bit slow, but it's all right. People make mistakes. It's fine. So this is not really an issue overall. Now, we have feedback on the suggestion board, and we also have Tri-Essence facility suggestions. So there are no plans to open the third page. So if you go to Tri-Essence facility in the game, there's currently 2 pages for pretty much each main stat, right? There's 2 pages, not each main stat, but for 3 categories, there's 2 pages for each category. And they said that they're not going to add a third page, which is honestly reasonable because I'm not gonna lie, I'm still on the first page because I've been trying to get the stats required in order for me to reach the second page, but I'm still trying to, the RNG is just in the way. So if they were to add a third page, that would be ridiculous, man. If they were to add a third page to Tri-Essence facility, because that would basically require more resources, and we would have to, go through the whole RNG situation once again. It's just not worth the hassle. So this is good news that they're not adding a third page. The only benefit and the only advantage is that we're just going to become stronger. But you know, even though we become stronger, adventure mode is going to have more floors and it's just going to get harder and harder. So there's just really no point. Now we move on to interval between the patch notice and patch schedule. It says we are trying to carry out patches in a way that doesn't require temporarily shutting down the game as much as possible. However, we would like you to know that we are working hard to quickly resolve any issues that occur and apply the patch properly to prevent any loss to our regulars. So basically they're saying whenever there's a new update, it wouldn't require you to shut down the game. You're just going to have to restart the game, and that's pretty much it. That's all they're saying, because they don't want us to, you know, lose our progress in the game. Because there are some games where, like, if there's an update and you have to shut down the game in order for you to update it, then most of the data would just erase. So that's fair. I understand that. Now the next thing we have is game crashing issues. Now this right here, there's a lot of people complaining about game crashing issues, and I'm gonna have to agree with this issue. Like, I'm gonna have to agree with this because when I play this game on mobile, because I mostly played on PC, of course, to make videos, but when I play this game on mobile, it literally crashes every 30 minutes. I don't even know why. Every 30 minutes it crashes. My phone is literally compatible, so hopefully they fix this problem. They said if the memory required while playing the game exceeds your device's available memory, the game may be forcefully shut down to protect your device. We continuously monitor the frequency and cases of this issue and carry out optimization with each update. Also, we are preparing the multi-deck saving function that can save the battle status so that you can continue playing when you reconnect to the game when the game forcefully closes during play. So the only solution that they were able to come up with was, if the game closes, if you're like, let's say you're fighting a boss or you're playing adventure mode and you're currently fighting a team or an enemy team or whatever, if the game just shuts down, like it just closes, you go back to the home screen, your progress will basically be saved, and if you go back into the game, you're just going to go right back into the battle. So that's the only solution they were able to come up with. They didn't really state in this response whether or not they're going to actually, like, they did say that they're going to fix the situation, but they don't really have a solution to the game crashing. It's just that when the game crashes, your progress in that battle is just going to be saved, and that's pretty much it. So that's all we have. And then for Q&A time, they're basically going to add a VIP system. I'm pretty sure the VIP system is basically, you know, appreciation for players who play the game a lot, spent money on the game, and supported the game. Because it says, however, we will prepare an explanation in detail on how to ensure that our regulars who give support and love for our game feel that they are being treated well. So VIP system is basically just appreciation for players who support the game for a long time. And it says regular opening of the Kun arcade. At first, we were worried about the Climb the Tower mini game. However, since many regulars enjoyed it, we are planning to develop and provide various mini games on a regular basis. We will also make improvements to the difficulty level after 1000th floor of the Climb the Tower mini game, which many regulars said was difficult. So, me personally, I didn't reach the 1000th floor, but it seems like it gets a lot harder when you get past a certain floor. So they're going to fix that and make it a lot better, which is good news. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is ignition weapon. So difficulty in activating the ignition weapon requirement, enhancing exclusive equipment to +20. We will continue to make improvements to ensure a smooth supply of enchantment extracts needed to enhance exclusive equipment. Now this is good news because the only way you can obtain enchantment extracts in a game is by basically farming the arena shop. Like, if you go to the shop and you go to the arena category, you can buy enchantment extracts from there. If you play ranked arena, then you're going to get some currency from doing that. You're going to get resources, and you can use those coins to buy enchantment extracts. And the second way you can get enchantment extracts is trial area. If you do trial area, I think if you beat some certain floors, you'll be able to get enchantment extracts when you complete trial area. And you can also get enchantment extracts by just continuously claiming your rewards. Like, whenever you're AFK, you get your AFK loot. That's another way you can get enchantment extracts. So there's only 3 ways you can get enchantment extracts. Another way, of course, is during events. When there's like an event shop, you can get enchantment extracts from there. But from the like getting enchantment extracts from like the entirety of the game, like the game overall, there's only 3 ways to get enchantment extracts: AFK loot, arena shop, and trial areas. So hopefully later on in the future, they add more. They basically add more ways you can get enchantment extracts. But like I said, if you're trying to level up your character, like you're trying to level up your character's exclusive equipment, you're gonna have to save your enchantment extracts for like a specific character who's really good. That's why I always make videos talking about, whether or not a character is good or not, because I don't want you to waste your enchantment extract on a character who's just simply not good. So this is still good news though. They're gonna give us more enchantment extract. Now the next thing we have, now this is a big one right here, because I think this is also an issue that needs to, like, it just needed to be addressed. Check-in event rewards. So it says, it came to our attention that the rewards from regulars welcome accumulation check-in that can be obtained by accessing the game every day have failed to meet our regulars' expectations, despite also having to count down check-ins before certain events to ensure our regulars' satisfaction with the regulars' welcome check-in rewards. The possibility of general improvements is currently being reviewed. So this is a huge improvement, because whenever there's a login event in the game, whenever we have a countdown check-in event, the countdown check-in event, the time limit is basically the entire update. If you don't log in every single day for that update, you're not going to get all the rewards, which pretty much sucks. Like, you literally have to log in every single day in order for you to get every single reward in the check-in event. If you don't log in every single day, you're not going to get all of the rewards. And I feel like they should actually fix that, because one time I wasn't even able to log in the game for like a day because I just had a lot going on, and I wasn't even able to get 10 extra summons because I didn't log in for just one day. So they need to fix that, because there's going to be times where they're just not going to have time to play the game, and because of life. So hopefully they fix that, and the fact that they actually addressed it, that's really good. Now the next thing we have is Origin Orb. It's pretty much simple. They said as of now there are no plans of adding a second page to Origin Orb anytime soon. However, if any updates are made to the Origin Orb later on, we will do so taking into consideration a reasonable application. And then we also have UI inconveniences. We will expand the stamina recharge button area in the story event screen, and will make improvements so that there is no need to enter the story event screen to see the current stamina and access it through the lobby screen. We are doing our best to deliver these improvements as quickly as possible. Now the next thing we have is balance. Balance adjustments of teammates after their release requires caution and is generally avoided. However, if any problems that affect enjoyment of the game are found, we will adjust the balance. So they basically just confirmed that they're never going to nerf a character or buff a character if it's needed. Like, if the character is balanced, then there's no reason to touch the character. That's literally what they're saying. If a character is absolutely trash, like to the point where the character is just not usable at all, like the character is just broken, not the good broken but the bad broken, then they're going to make adjustments. Because the perfect example is Vile. Vile, he was, before his buff, he was a really bad SSR plus unit, and they pretty much buffed him and made him a lot better by changing his passive. So not his passive, I think it was his ultimate. Yeah, I think it was his ultimate that they changed. So yeah, they're basically confirming that they're not gonna nerf a character after their release. And I'm actually glad the fact that they said that, because nerfing a character after a character's been released has to be one of the scummiest things a dev can do, because everybody basically spent their money and their resources on that character, and after the character releases, you're just like, nah, you know what, let's just change this character's kit. That's kind of dirty. So it's a good thing that they actually said that. Now the next thing we have is about releasing original webtoon characters. Now there are a lot of people complaining about how the devs, they haven't been releasing the original webtoon characters. They've been releasing characters who are not even canon to the story. And it says, in 2024, we will introduce a wider variety of the original webtoon characters to bring more of the original feeling of the webtoon in the game. So for all the people who are wondering whether or not they're going to continue adding original webtoon characters, that's your confirmation. They're going to keep doing it. And it says increase the number of friends allowed. They're basically going to increase the amount of friends you can have on your account, and add an ignition weapon preset function. So this is good news, because if you have a build, if you have a lot of builds on a specific character and you don't want to, always manually take the set out and then trying to find, basically just too much going on, they're going to add a preset function where you can automatically equip a build without manually equipping the build one by one, like by using each set and etc. So that's good news right there. And for Alliance Expedition boss variety, this is really, really good, because I was wondering whether or not are they going to add another boss in Alliance Expedition, because the only boss that we've had in Alliance Expedition is Why Still Ill, and there hasn't been another boss at all. So they're basically going to add multiple varieties of different bosses for Alliance Expedition. And it says add higher tiers of normal equipment. There are currently no plans to add higher tiers to normal equipment. So basically a lot of people were talking about whether or not they should add higher tiers for normal equipment. And honestly, I don't think that's necessary, because the highest tier is S grade tier for the equipment, and there's just no point, because adding another tier would just increase the stats and that's it. There's just no point. There's no point of adding another tier when we have the ignition weapon system. I feel like the ignition weapon system is basically a higher tier, so there's really no need to basically add a higher tier for normal equipment when we have ignition weapon. Now it says restraint information improvement. We are currently reviewing various options, including long pressing the restraint icon to display information or to automatically scroll to related description section when touching the icon in the secret floor. And they're also going to add a replay function, which is really good news, because there are a lot of times where I want to rewatch my fights to see, where I messed up at and how I can perform better for future fights. So this is a really good function to the game. So they're going to add that pretty soon. It says that they're aiming to complete this function around mid-February. So in a couple weeks, we're going to get this function, which is really dope. Now, of course, the story mode Act 7 is scheduled to release on the 18th of January. I already talked about that on my last video, my last Tower of God video. We already talked about that. And for Arena, they're talking about regular Arena resets follow the concept of a seasonal system, but the source is actually maintained to a certain extent. We also received suggestions to add a league based on Shinsu Link level, and matching will also be made more rationally. In Rank Arena, even if the season reset, the rank from the previous season is maintained. So this is just Arena stuff. Me personally, I don't really care about Arena because it doesn't really do much. But for the Arena players, this is basically Arena update. And then for Alliance content, the Tower of Alliances event has been introduced. So right now in the game, we have the Tower of Alliances, and it says Alliance missions will occasionally be linked to mini games, and making them a regular content is not under consideration as of this moment. New game modes to play with your Alliance members are being prepared and will be added in 2024. So they're basically going to add more mini games where you can play with your Alliance members and get more rewards, and that's pretty much it. The multi-deck saving function. I'm pretty sure the multi-deck saving function was pretty much, when the application, when the game closes and your progress is saved. So we already covered that. We also have costume suggestions. We will take a more reasonable approach depending on the type of costume. When it comes to granting stats, they might have to be offered through purchases. So to make up for it, we will introduce a wider variety with much cooler costumes in the future. And then they're also going to add chat emojis. They're going to add a limit break transfer function. And they're also talking about the element training event. And that wasn't really huge at all. And the biggest thing of them all is the stage configuration, accuracy, and evasion stats. Now, you guys already know this has been one of the biggest problems in the game. Accuracy and evasion. Like, mainly accuracy. Accuracy was like the biggest problem. And the reason why accuracy has been such a problem is because ranged units and assassin units like Kaseya, Kun Ron, they require so much accuracy, and if you don't have a lot of accuracy on these characters, they will miss 90% of their attacks. It's ridiculous. Like Kun Ron is a perfect example. My Kun Ron, his accuracy is around like 800, not 800, what the hell? His accuracy is around like 347, and his special skill misses 90% of the time. That is ridiculous. Like, That is a lot of accuracy, and the fact that he misses 90% of the time is crazy. So it says improvements are constantly being made to reduce the dependence on accuracy and evasion stats. We will focus on having character and ignition weapon combinations lead the fun and guide the combat strategy. So this is basically confirmation that they're going to release an ignition weapon that boosts accuracy and evasion. Like the fact that they said we will focus on having character and ignition weapon combinations lead the fun and guide the combat strategies. This is hinting the fact that we're going to get an accuracy and evasion ignition weapon set in the future, and I'm really excited. But I'm mostly excited the fact that they're going to reduce the amount of accuracy you need for your characters in order for them to actually land their attacks, because I feel like that was such a problem for assassin units overall, especially Kaseya and Kunran. Kaseya, I feel like Kunran, he misses way more than Kaseya, but Kaseya, she still misses her special skill like 80% of the time, which is really annoying. So this is extremely good news overall. This is really dope. So I'm really excited about this stage configuration, the fact that they're going to reduce the dependence on accuracy and evasion stats. And that's pretty much it, man. They have new teammate tutorial, and that's nothing really big, but I feel like out of all the things I just read just now, the stage configuration and the reduced dependence on accuracy and evasion stats is just insane. I've been asking about this for a long time. I've been asking for the devs to reduce the amount of accuracy you need on your DPS units, and they actually listen. So they haven't really they don't really have like, you know, a specific time. Like they haven't stated when they're going to implement this in the game, but the fact that they're aware of that, they're aware of the issue, and they're actually coming to, like, they're bringing up a solution for this issue, is really good news overall. So this is good news for Kunran and Kaseya. I feel like this is basically a buff. Like, this is technically a buff for DPS units who are always missing all the time. So really good news. But anyways, that's pretty much the CM notes. It's a lot. If you guys want to read it, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description down below. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.